Hey guys, Nolar here. It's been gone for a little bit. It's been a while, but I'm here to talk to you guys about my first impressions of Path of Exile 2. It's the early access, started today as of this recording, December 6th, and I played about an hour and a half to 2 hours just in the beginning, just to get a feel, and let you guys know what my thoughts are, being an ARPG, not necessarily a master, but I'm an enthusiast. I like this style. Diablo 2, Diablo 3, 4. I finally got around to actually grinding out PoE, the first one, and Last Epoch as well. So, given my history, I just, like to dive in and talk about it. So you'll just see a lot of the gameplay content I recorded, and hopefully you guys will enjoy it. And if it seems to be up your liking, go ahead, get the early access key. I'm sure someone spent enough money to get you a copy if you ask around. But but before we get in, hit the like button, subscribe, all that kind of good stuff, and let's go. All right, so I played the first couple hours of the game. Obviously, there were such launch issues. It was supposed to come out at 11 a.m. PST. I had the day off, and I was like, okay, cool, let me try to get in. I knew it was going to be bad, but I didn't know how bad it was going to be. They said, GGG, that they had over 1 million redeemed early access keys, and that's a lot. And seeing how early access is not just on Steam and on their website or their launcher, it's also on the PS5 and the Xbox. This was going to be big. So immediately for the first couple hours, I want to say, there were issues. They were trying to get the logins and the databases correct. And to be fair to their credit, there were tons of tweets that they put up explaining what the problems were, how they're going to fix it. So a very communicative company, and something I wish everyone did for their products as well and their audience. But anyway, so finally got in, and as you can see, this is exactly what I wanted. Like, I am the target audience for this game. There is a ton of dark, gritty fantasy just oozing, and I just enjoy that genre as a whole. And even at the get-go, at the character creation screen, I'm sure you'll see this here. But of course, you pick one of the 6 classes, and there are 2 ascendancies per class, so really 12 different play styles. But the one class you pick, everyone falls down, and then you're the one that survives. Everyone else dies, and you get off the shore trying to get through the the dark grim fantasy here and get to the next part and the next part. And the gameplay is stellar. Like, look at the game. The graphics are next level. Now, the art style is really what carries it, because it is that dark grim fantasy that I enjoy, and a bunch of people enjoy as well. And so it really ties into it, but it has no holds bar. It goes through and talks and shows you exactly why people love this company and the games that they produce. And yeah, it just blew my mind looking at it. It looks really good compared to PoE 1, and I can't believe it's essentially the same engine, just upgraded. And it's over 10 years old at this point. So yeah, this looks fantastic. So graphically, I'm all in. But what's more important is the gameplay, and that is where GGG excels, because just even getting the first couple of spells is very impactful. It just feels good. Like getting my minions. Like, I played a witch. I love minion playstyle, being the commander and then buffing my guys and going ham is pretty cool. And the way they created the quality of life, like, you can summon your minions and then they die, but then they come back again on their own over a period of time. I think right now it's 7 seconds, but I'm sure that'll shorten up. That's fantastic. Like, I don't have to worry about resummoning, like in Diablo 4, resummoning, and then throwing out a buff or a debuff or whatever. So that's just great. And then the impact of, like, how it feels great. So later on, I picked up some spells, like some of the sorcerer spells, and because there's not enough, not enough the witch spells for me to use, I just picked up some of these sorcerer spells, and they feel great, like a firewall, and then you shoot some flames, lightning through the firewall, then that lightning spark gets fire damage added to it because of it, and you can see the spark, the blue and the red, going together, just indicating that they got both the buffs, and just moving forward was fantastic. Just this class combination and just got me thinking, like, what else can I combo with it? So I'm not gonna go too deep within the skills and the support gems and all that kind of stuff, because yeah, if you're interested in that kind of stuff, you'll learn it. Like, the game will teach you. So I already am experienced with PoE 1, but obviously I'm not like a veteran. I've played it through like once or twice and got to the end game and mapping. So like I'm familiar with it, but I'm not an expert for sure. And the thing with PoE, and I'm assuming PoE 2, is it's gonna take a lot of studying and spreadsheets and all that kind of stuff. And at that point, you're just gonna go look for those dedicated content creators to help you figure out, you know, how your build works, how this class works, how these mechanics go. And so I'm not the guy to go to. You just watch them. But I will say there's a lot to work with, and it's great. It's fantastic. Now, the one thing in Act 1, that's where I'm in right now, that I want to talk about is how much the bosses feel and look different. It's not like a reskin. The graphics alone, like their art style, you got the druid boss that has different mechanics compared to the witch boss, which has different mechanics, and then the husband, the Draven, and then the witch joins him for a second time, and like the mechanics, it got real bloody and hard for me. And this game is pretty difficult. I mean, these fights are going to be 2-3 minute slogs plus, you know what I mean, especially early on. I'm sure later on, when you get to the end game and juice your character up, have more mods and all that kind of stuff, it'll be like super quick. But as I'm going through the story, and with the crap gear that I have, it is difficult. And the one thing I will say is they made it so that if you die, if you kill the boss down to like 50% health and then you come back, in PoE 1, he would be at 50%. But no, if you die, you reset to 100. So you have to one-shot the boss and go through. And that's like a hard marker. So they definitely ramped the difficulty compared to PoE 1, at least in my opinion, adjacent to where we are now if you were in the story of PoE 1. But more importantly, the one-shot mechanic, like you have to go through and be good enough, so get good, to beat the boss in one go. Otherwise, if you die, you can't continue and continually go through it. And again, that's extended to endgame, as I said, where maps are only one shot. You only get one chance at the map, and if the map fails, it bricks your atlas and all that kind of stuff. So there's a ton of things that go on, but they're prepping you to be prepared. Don't go in under geared, under leveled, or any of this stuff. Like, you need to be appropriately ready to take on the boss. And good, if you are a little under level, a little under gear, not perfect optimized, you know, got to be good with it. And the other thing I want to mention is the WASD movement is fantastic. Before, in PoE 1 and a lot of ARPGs, it's just point to click, point to move, and there can be some problems with that, you know, like you mean to aim a certain direction and you end up moving and that gets you killed, blah, 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 blah. But here, the WASD feels great. Now, they said they have controller support, and I love to sit back sometimes on the controller and just play. That's only right now on the consoles, obviously, but and WASD and mouse movement is only for PC at the moment, but I'm sure down the line they will let controller support come to PC. And if you hook up a keyboard and mouse to your PS5, you can play that way too if you wanted to. But we're in early access, so I don't begrudge them all that kind of stuff. So right now, I'm thoroughly enjoying it. I'm having a ton of fun. I'm sitting in calls with my buddies, and you know, they're playing different classes. I'm playing a certain class, and you know, I'll invite them to trade gear and, you know, help them out, or they'll help me out, whatever the case may be. It's fun right now, and I mean, it's fresh and new. Not a lot of leaks with the game. So right now, I'm definitely saying, if you are an ARPG fan or you're interested in action RPGs as a whole, looting, that kind of stuff, I think this game's up your alley. And to me, so far, all the innovations just in the first couple acts just really shows me that they're ready to elevate the genre, and I hope everyone else follows suit. This includes Blizzard, 11th Hour Games at Last Epoch, and all that other stuff. Like, I hope people get inspired and move and increase the quality of the genre as a whole, and we get to be here and be gamers and enjoy everything. But anyway, so that's it for me for the first couple hours of playing the PoE 2. I was gonna say Last Epoch, but PoE 2, and I'm sure there'll be tens, hundreds more hours. And if you guys want to see and hear my thoughts about it and see how this goes through, you let me know in the comments below. You hit that like button, you hit that subscribe. Just tell us if this is the content you want, and this is what we can deliver. So yeah, with that said, I am Nolar, and I'll catch you guys later.